One of the things that we've been noticing about what lawmakers are discussing is they're still looking at ways to provide some form of relief to Social Security recipients. The only problem is they're very slow. Now, in today's video, I want to talk about the potential Social Security increases for 2023 because we have a few. We got the cost of living adjustment. President Biden wants to change a few things regarding Social Security. And we also got some news that, well, there's a proposal out there that wants to eliminate taxes on Social Security income. So we're actually going to address those few things in today's video. If you have questions on any of this stuff, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. Now, all I ask is if you enjoy these uploads on Social Security, talking about what is potentially coming and some of the problems or drawbacks behind it, please do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button, and let's continue. Now, here's the worry. The worry amongst lawmakers is actually pretty simple. It is that they are giving money to Social Security recipients. But the problem is they cannot afford the basic necessities, the most essential things like rent and food, utilities, medication, things like that. Now, I talked to many people over the past few weeks about Social Security. Talked to them about how their Social Security payments are going, if they can afford food and rent and utilities and medication and anything else that they need. Well, almost every single person I talked to felt the same way, that prices keep rising even though inflation is going down, and yet they still are struggling to make it through. Now, one person said this, and I thought this was very important. I want to read this to you because this is exactly what we're seeing. One person said, "The cost of food in Ohio where I live is getting cheaper, but I'm very concerned that my utility bill will be double this winter. My 3 medications have increased in price by $78 a month, and my rent has increased by $200 to $1,850 a month. So the savings in food was quickly evaporated by the increase in rent and medications." Now, I think we can all agree that's kind of what we're seeing. Okay, gas prices went down. Awesome. But when our utility payments jump up, that's not a savings. That doesn't mean inflation's coming down. It just means gas prices got cheaper. That's it. Well, if a lot of elderly people are not driving their car, that's probably not a big deal. Okay? But again, let me know if you are experiencing this exact same thing where, yeah, gas prices came down. Great. Maybe food is a little bit less expensive. Awesome. But if it costs more money to keep the medications that you're already on and your rent is going up even faster, is there really a savings happening? And I don't think there is. But here's what's really important to understand. And what's really important to understand is the way that the cost of living adjustment is actually calculated. Because this is the big move that President Biden wants to make. Because he wants to see that Social Security recipients are treated fairly, right? His plan, according to reports, is President Biden wants to see the cost of living adjustment calculations changed from the CPIW, which is the Consumer Price Index, Consumer Price Index, and urban wage earners, I believe, and clerical workers. That's the CPIW. That's the way it's currently calculated. Well, he wants to change this to the CPIE, which is actually the Consumer Price Index for the elderly. Now, the reason why he wants to make this major change, and again, it's a big change, because the CPIE would actually provide greater weight on costs that are associated with older people, older Americans, such as healthcare. It puts a greater weight on healthcare and things that older Americans typically spend their money on. Right? That's going to be more in line with the cost of living adjustment. So why do we not do that? We just haven't done it. So, just so you know, I'm not here to say that switching from the CPIW to CPIE is going to provide an additional raise per year of 5 to 10%. That's not what's going to do. It's actually going to be very modest, and it's likely to be less than 0.5%. And according to reports, if this was done, if this was done at any time, it's actually going to provide about a 0.25 to 0.4% increase. That's it. That's in addition to the cost of living adjustment already. For example, if the cost of living adjustment for 2022, actually it is 5.9%. Well, under the CPIE, if we would have done that, the cost of living adjustment would have been closer to either 6.15% or 6.3%. Okay? This would have meant that Social Security recipients would have received about an additional $5 per month. That's on average. Okay? So you would have went from $1,658 to $1,663. Okay? About a $5 increase per month. So again, it's not huge, but $5, okay, over the course of a year, that's $60. But here's what lawmakers are talking about. And lawmakers have been talking about this change for years. And let's say this change happened 5, 10, or even 15 years ago. Well, the average 0.25% increase per year, okay, in addition to what the cost of living adjustment has been, if you accumulate this would be around, I think, $25 to $30 per month today. So if it's an additional $25 to $30 per month, that's where some are saying that is the substantial loss that we're seeing. Now, even though this is still in discussions, there's a problem with this as well. The problem is by going from the CPIW to CPIE, this would actually send out more money per month to Social Security recipients. And the problem is that Social Security would become insolvent much sooner if we do this. And this is also the reason why this provision would have to go along with another way to bring in additional revenue. That's where President Biden is actually wanting to increase the salary cap to Social Security payroll taxes. But he has a problem there as well. He could only increase the salary cap for people that are making over $400,000 per year because he made a presidential promise that he would not tax anybody a penny more that makes less than $400,000 per year. So that's kind of the problem there, is he's made all these promises and now he cannot work within his system because of all these promises that are limiting what he can actually do. So that's kind of where we're at this point. Now, I do not expect we will go from the CPIW to CPIE in 2022. If this does happen, it would most likely happen in 2023, potentially 2024. Now, if this were to happen, then obviously we'll see some changes. But here's what is expected for the cost of living adjustment for 2023. Experts anticipate it will at least be 9%. When you look at some of these, different reports, different numbers that people are throwing out, some are throwing out 8%. 8%, according to the reports I've been reading, 8% is a 100% likely that yes, 8% or more will be the cost of living adjustment. But according to the Senior Citizens League, they say that Social Security's cost of living adjustment for 2023 is still expected to be about 9 to 9.6%. This means at 9.6%, we would see an average monthly increase to Social Security benefits of $159 a month. So again, it's a fairly substantial increase, especially as we are expecting inflation to tick down. Okay, so we'll see what happens there. Now, I did get a bunch of questions about the You Earned It, You Keep It Act. This is a new proposal that's actually within the House. Congress is away on recess right now. They will not be back until, I believe, the 12th. It's either the 5th or the 12th. I believe it's the 12th, so we still have over a week. So we will see if something happens there. But in this proposal, the You Earned It, You Keep It Act, it states that Social Security benefits would not be taxed. And this, again, has a ways to go, especially before it gets more support within the House or the Senate, for the simple fact that it doesn't actually help Social Security beneficiaries with the greatest need. And I want to address why. I talked about this in the last video, but I just want to be very clear that everybody knows why. Some do not support this because Social Security recipients that make less than $25,000 per year, you don't even have to file a federal tax return. Okay? You don't have to pay taxes. So that's the problem there, is the people that need it the most are making less than $25,000 per year. And by saying, okay, everybody is not going to pay taxes on Social Security, the problem there is the people that make the least amount aren't paying taxes anyway. So it's actually helping, people that make more money, over $25,000 per year. So it's helping more of the upper lower class and the middle income earners. And that's where some say, no, we need to help the ones that are making the least amount of money first. So we'll see what happens, but that is what we know at this time. As always, as I know more regarding the Social Security increase for 2023, regarding the cost of living adjustment, or any more Social Security news, I promise I will come back and I'll fill you in on all latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.